Bonjour everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world. I'm very excited that you are here with me on this new Parisian adventures. I'm very excited to be back in France and especially in Paris with this beautiful weather that we have today. I just landed in Charles de Gaulle. My flight was pretty smooth, I have to say. I even slept 4 to 5 hours, I think. So it was a great flight and I feel pretty rested, which is kind of like unusual for me when I arrive in France. But I went straight to my hotel and the room was not ready yet. So I took this opportunity to go to the nearest pharmacy to buy my skincare essential that I will show you tomorrow. We are kind of like in a time crunch right now because, believe it or not, I have to go visit a couple of places. You're gonna think I'm crazy because the last video I uploaded on my YouTube channel was me touring some apartments and houses in Los Angeles, and now you are seeing me doing the same thing in Paris. But it's all about manifestation, and I thought I will include this little section in this video because I thought that could be interesting for you as well to see what's out there in the Parisian market. So that's what we are going to do today. I actually have to meet with the real estate agent in a couple of minutes. The apartment is nearby, so that's very convenient. By the way, I'm staying in the 7th arrondissement at the Hotel Verneuil, and I will talk to you a bit more about this hotel and my week because I'm staying a week in Paris tomorrow because right now, as I told you, I'm a bit in a hurry, but I hope you are doing well, and I would like to thank you again for being here in this new adventure with me. So I'll talk to you soon. Good morning everyone, I hope you are doing well. I just woke up, it's around 7:30 a.m. and I'm finishing getting ready to go find a nice cafe to have my breakfast. I'm really craving a cappuccino right now. I'm a bit jet lagged, but honestly I slept pretty well. This street, the Rue de Verneuil, is pretty quiet, so it's pretty amazing. But before leaving the hotel, I just wanted to share with you a bit more about what I did yesterday, because I felt like I was not giving enough context about what I was doing. So as you have seen, as soon as I landed, I went to visit a couple of places here in Saint-Germain, in the 7th arrondissement. And I'm doing so because, as you know, I'm French living in the US, so I'm very attached to both countries. And ultimately, I think my goal is really to be more in between the two countries, so I guess, more balanced life in between France and in the US. And I feel like if I have a pied-à-terre, a place in France, that would help this situation happening. So my dream is to obviously have a beautiful apartment in the 7th or the 6th arrondissement of Paris, so the Saint-Germain neighborhood. And yesterday I went to see two different apartments, and both of them were quite nice, I have to say, especially the first one. I saw it online and then I immediately contacted the agency because I knew I was about to stay quite close to it during this trip. The real estate agent was very flexible and was able to show it to me right away, and it was a beautiful place. It was a bit smaller than what I was expecting, and honestly there is a lot of renovation that needs to be done. I think the apartment was listed for around 850,000 euros, so not cheap at all to start with, especially for the size of the place. On top of that, you needed to beat quite a bit of cash to renovate the entire place, so might be a deal breaker, unfortunately. But in any cases, I'm really at the beginning, at the early stage of this project of like finding a place here in Paris. But it's really started by, getting in touch with the right people and starting to visit some places just to realize what's out there and what I like and what I don't like. So I love doing that, and I feel very grateful to have had the time to, even visit some places while I'm in this very busy week here in Paris. In those like old Parisian apartments, you really have to choose in between. Do you want to be on the street side of the property, I guess, and have a good light and a good view, but a lot of noises, or do you want to be more like, facing the inside, the courtyard of the building, but then the light might be so-so, and also the view might be a bit less, I guess, charming. So there is never like the perfect place. That's what I'm starting to learn. I was very grateful to be able to see this first property, and the second one was actually facing the inside of the building, so the courtyard. It was fully renovated, so that was a plus. You just have to arrive in the apartment and put your luggage and start living your life. No renovation needed, and great, I guess, floor plan. But it was a bit less charming, in my opinion, less quintessential Parisian, I have to say. So I definitely like the first place better. Anyway, I'm just like, giving you all of my thoughts. I definitely want to see more apartments in the future to better understand what I like and don't like and what's out there, and to better have an idea of what the market is right now. After that, I was able to go to Hermès. There is a Hermès on the Saint-Germain area. It's really close to the Bon Marché. It's called the Hermès Sèvres because it's Rue de Sèvres. That's generally the Hermès I like to go to because it's a bit smaller, a bit more like, I don't want to say boutique because it's a big store, but less touristy than the flagship store. I went there because, as you know, I would love that one day I got offered a Birkin 40 or like a HAC 40, so like a bigger bag in Barenia Faubourg. And so it's been a couple of times over the years that I went to this store and asked for this, so they know what I'm looking for, and they obviously were able to pull up my profile and to know that I have requested this specific bag. And so they went to check, and this time again they didn't unfortunately have the bag, this type of bag, but they really encourage me to, every time I'm around, to go and check, because you never know, one day it might happen. So, and then I was able to go to Le Bon Marché, which is really like next door to the Hermès store. I wanted to smell the new fragrance of Bottega Veneta. I don't know if you have seen, but Bottega Veneta recently recently, I mean, a few days ago, really, launched a new line of fragrances that is, first of all, a bit cheaper than the first line that they have launched under Mathieu Blasi. And I was actually able to smell a couple of those new fragrances. They didn't have all of them, but they had 2 or 3. The first one I was able to smell was Balliamo, and I really liked it. The top notes are pomelo, cedra, fresh pepper essence, and then the base note are cedarwood, vetiver, and Ambronova, which I'm not quite sure what it is. Second one that I smell was Always Now, and I love this one as well. The top note were basil, bergamot, lemon, mandarin, sweet orange, and fresh ginger, and I think that was my favorite actually. And the base notes were vetiver, cedarwood, and musk. I really want to go back to a Bottega Veneta store and smell the rest of the line. I also stopped by Chanel because I really wanted to try their maxi flap that everyone is talking about right now. I really like this bag. I really want to see it in real, but I think I'm very late to the game, obviously, because I think this bag is sold out everywhere. So no chance for me to try it or getting it. So yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to share with you this morning before leaving and getting my cappuccino. And we have a fun day ahead, and I will let you know a bit later what we are doing. So again, I hope you're doing well, and we are going to get a cappuccino now. And I just realized I forgot to share with you what I bought in the French pharmacy yesterday as soon as I landed. Generally, every time I take a trip to France, this is where I take the opportunity to restock on my favorite skincare products, because I feel like, I think the formula are a bit cleaner here in Europe compared to the US. Also, I think the pricing of some of them are a bit better, and some of them I think are not available in the US also. So that's why I'm doing that here. So the first products that I bought, and none of them are new to me. Those are products I'm using since I think years for most of them. So the first one I bought is this instant foaming cleanser from Caudalie, which I use every morning as a cleanser. The second one then is my vitamin C12 serum from La Roche-Posay, and this one has been using for like at least 3 years, and I think it works pretty well on my skin. For the eyes, I have another serum. It's also from La Roche-Posay. It's this B5, and I kind of like the stick. I'm not sure how you call that, but it's kind of like it feels good on the eyes. And then after that, I obviously have my SPF, which is also a hydrating cream, I would say, from Aven, and this one has been working pretty well on my skin as well. It's leaving kind of like a nice glow too, so it's pretty nice. For the evening, I just put like a purifying, I guess, water. This one is from Bioderma, and same, I've been using it for quite a long time now. And then I'm using, which I was out for a long time, so I'm pretty happy that I found it again, this Firming Night Cream from Caudalie, which I leave on all night then. So that's the products I bought yesterday at the pharmacy, and that's basically my entire morning and evening routine. So here you go, you have it. So I'm back at the hotel, as you can see, and I'm about to leave again because I'm taking myself to a nice lunch. I'm going to Le Grand Café, which is this new-ish restaurant at Le Grand Palais. I went there a couple of years ago or last year with my friend Clémentine for dinner, but never for lunch. So I'm excited to check this place for lunch. And then I think I want to, shop around and go to a Lemaire boutique. We are Sunday, and Sunday in France, everything is kind of closed. So I think this boutique is open, but I have to double check that. And then I'm pretty excited because I'm seeing one of my best friends, Laura. We're gonna spend the the rest of the day together, including dinner. So I can't wait to see her and to catch up with her. Also, I feel like I haven't shared with you why I'm in Paris actually. So starting tomorrow, so from Monday to Thursday, I'm gonna follow fragrances classes at this very famous school called Lizipka. It's in Versailles. I've been talking about that for months now. I think if you have watched my videos about my 2026 wish list, it was definitely part of it. So I'm so excited that this is finally happening. Fragrances is definitely a word that I want to learn more about. You know, I'm working more into the flavor and food industry right now, and the fragrances is definitely the other part of this industry that I'm less educated about. So I'm very excited to, just on a personal and professional level, to be able to learn more about this industry. I'm very excited to start this training tomorrow, and that's why I'm in Paris, and I'm gonna be there until Friday, where I'm leaving for Portugal to see some friends. So it's gonna be an intense week next week then, because on top of like going to Versailles every day to follow these fragrances classes, I'm gonna see some friends every night for dinner. So it's a pretty packed schedule, and I'm gonna try to bring you along for most of it. So I'm very excited to be here. I feel very grateful to be able to accomplish, you know, this dream really, because learning more about fragrances and being more part of this industry is definitely a dream of mine. So I'm happy that this is finally happening. So thank you very much again for being here for this journey, and I hope you're doing well. And now let's get some nice lunch. And that's the first time I'm staying at the Hotel Verneuil, and I'm pleasantly surprised about this property. I obviously love the neighborhood, but the hotel by itself is very charming. It has kind of like this boutique-y feeling to it, because I don't think there is too many rooms in the building. And by the way, this building used to be a house from the 17th century. The rooms are not big by any stretch of the imagination, but honestly, they do the job. And because I'm on the 5th floor, even if the room is not that big, the light is so good that I think it makes the room a bit more brighter. Yeah, I'm very happy about my stay so far. I also have a beautiful view on the Parisian roof right now, so I will totally recommend this hotel to you in case you're looking for a mid-range hotel. It's a 4 stars, but the pricing I think were pretty good compared to other 4 stars in the neighborhoods. So I will totally recommend this hotel. The staff is lovely. So yeah, that's the few words I have to say about the Hotel Verneuil. Okay guys, I'm back at the hotel and your boy went shopping, so let's see what I bought. So as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to check Lemaire because I knew they had a beautiful store in Lemaire, so I was so happy to be able to check it for the first time. And I bought, first of all, this very nice, I'm gonna do that, this very nice t-shirt. Let me show that to you. And I believe it was part of their runway, but not in this color. I think in their runway it was in black or marine blue. But that's basically this very kind of simple, but very, very nice, very summery, like sage, I think that's the name, sage color t-shirt. They also had it in white and in marine blue or black. I'm not quite sure about the color, but not in my size. This is a large and it fits me pretty well, and I think it's gonna be perfect for a nice summer day. Don't have a lot of top in this color, so that's perfect. So that's one. And the second one, I have been talking about this piece for quite a while now. It was on and off of my wish list for years, and I finally pull the trigger on it because I found the perfect one. So without further ado, let me introduce you my new bag. It's definitely a croissant bag, but which one did I get? I got the medium one in this beautiful lambskin leather, and the color is called bitter cacao, something like that. So it's this very beautiful brown. I love this color in combination with the silver hardware. They had so many different variations of this bag. First of all, there is 3 different sizes. I knew I didn't want a small one because it looked a bit too small on my frame, but I was really in between the medium one, so this one, and the large one. Ultimately, I decided to go with this one because I can use definitely a new crossbody bag, a brown crossbody bag actually. That was definitely more useful in my wardrobe than the big one. That's how the bag looks on me. I'm not sure if this is a perfect outfit for it, but you have an idea on how the medium croissant bag look on me. I think it's so cool. Again, I'm in love with this color. I was also debating in between this one and the alpaga, I think that's the name of it, in white or in brown, but ultimately the lambskin really was calling my name. This bag is also available in this grain leather as well, but I feel like it looks a bit more elegant in lambskin. So yeah, that's my new bag. Finally, I can tick that off my wish list and adding this to my collection. Let me know, guys, what you think of this bag. Also, do you own any Lemaire croissant bag? I will be interesting to know how it aged. And then the last thing that I bought, it was at Essential Parfum. I'm not sure if you know this brand. It's definitely like a niche brand that has been created by a woman that was working for one of the biggest flavor and fragrance house. And she basically launched this brand a few years ago, but decided to partner with some of the most, I guess, famous perfumer or nose in the industry, including Quentin Biche. And if you have watched my last videos, you know that this is one of my favorite perfumer of the moment. He was the one collaborating with Marc-Antoine Barrois. He has definitely partnered with Essential Parfum on this particular fragrance, which is called Bois Impérial. And that's so interesting because as soon as I smelled it, that was my first time smelling it. By the way, I bought, Bois Impérial in the 100 milliliter, and as soon as I smell it, it definitely reminded me of Ganymede. So you can definitely tell that it has been made by Quentin Biche. There is definitely his signature in it. It has this very spicy and basil notes at first. The more the fragrance evolved, the more you can smell some woody notes as well. That's how I will describe it. So that's my new fragrance in my collection as well. I'm pretty excited to have it too, and I feel like it's really on theme with this fragrance journey I'm on and with my training starting tomorrow. Okay, it took me a while to remove the packaging, but this is how the bottle looks. Pretty simple. Now I'm waiting for my friend Laura to arrive. I think she's gonna be there in 20 to 30 minutes, and I can't wait to catch up with her. So I will catch up with you after that.
So we started with the metallics for your undertone.
Okay.
We saw that the best metallic would be a bronze. So actually for your jewelry, this kind of deep bronze would be amazing as a bracelet or as a necklace. That could be really nice.
Interesting, because I don't have anything like that.
It could be a nice alternative. And then if you want gold, try and take more of a muted gold without it being too, it still needs to be very warm, but maybe a bit brassy, if you see what I mean.
Like
instead
aged?
of a very bright gold, because that would be a more of a toned gold, richer, would be nicer.
Nice.
For a
I like
chain
this
or
color.
something, you know?
Yeah. Closer to the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then this was one of the best greens
Oh,
on
yeah.
you, which is an olive green. This is beautiful.
I love this one. And again, I don't have anything like that in my wardrobe, so
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I think it's pretty nice.
Then
I
we
love it.
really liked this terracotta on you as well.
Oh, I think that's great.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love, and you said it very well, that all of those colors, they are very harmonious
Yes.
with each other, so it's
Yeah.
easy to pair them with each other.
Exactly. Everything will be in the same warmth, the same kind of saturation level. So that's the beauty of color analysis. So you know what really works with you and your features to avoid seeing the clothes or the piece you're wearing before seeing your face. But so you really create a look where you stand out as a person and not we see yourself wearing a piece,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the beauty of it is that, yes, your wardrobe will create this harmony within your palette, and everything you'll put together will just simply work because they all are in the same family. So that's the magic.
That makes a lot of sense.
So we could definitely imagine a jumper like this or a shirt, and then we've seen that your brown was a very deep espresso brown.
Chocolate brown
That's
like that.
beautiful. So
love
that's
that.
your go-to neutral, much better than black. As we've seen, black
Yep.
is a bit too harsh.
Yeah.
It's okay because you have deep features, so you can wear black pretty well, better than most other seasons. But yeah, espresso black is nice.
What are the best seasons for black?
Winter.
Winter?
Yeah, winter. And as you are a deep autumn, you're quite close to the deep winter. So that's why some colors of the deep winter, such as navy blue, is okay for you. You can go and pick
That's
a few
pretty lucky.
deeper colors in the deep winter season.
But this one is definitely, my go-to. I love
Exactly.
chocolate brown, so that's
I
makes
mean,
sense.
it's just so harmonious with your features. I mean, it's just the color of your hair, of your eyes, so it works definitely.
Good.
When it comes to lighter, warmer colors, so we've seen.
Yep.
We can remove those.
Yep.
We had this nice mustard yellow.
I like that as well.
Yeah. Just to compare again versus the spring yellow, which is a warm yellow but much brighter. This is too bright for you.
Yeah.
You see, your features just. I mean, you see the yellow of the fabric before seeing your face.
Totally.
Huh?
You focus
And
on
then-
this compared to
exactly.
focusing on the
And
ensemble,
then
I would say.
something much more muted and
Yeah.
deeper. This is so much better.
Night and day,
Night and day.
for sure. And again, this one goes so much better with the other colors that we
Yes.
tried compared to this
Yeah.
brighter yellow, I guess.
Yes.
You call it? Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a Merlot.
I love that.
Aubergine. That's absolutely stunning. This
I
is
love
so
this.
classy. And you could imagine like even a silk shirt in that color if you want something that is for the evening. Yeah.
And I
the
told
shirt.
you, yeah,
That's perfect.
something from COS I bought like recently. It's basically the
Perfect.
same.
Perfect. And then you can imagine.
I was right. Good.
Matching this with like this lovely caramel
Yeah.
color, deep caramel color. That's amazing together. I love it.
I'm so glad because all of the colors that we found were working for me. I love all of them.
Ah, but that's a good sign.
Does that happen sometimes that you realize that some colors are good for some feature of some people, but then they don't really like the color themselves? Yes.
Sometimes they're disappointed, and that's a touchy one because if you have a customer that's been wearing gold jewelry for 10 or 15 years or 20 years and you say, oh, you're actually a cool undertone, you better suit silver. Sometimes their face is like, oh my God, I've
Oh,
been
gosh.
wrong all this time. But again, it's not it's
Yeah. You can
play with it.
there
I
is your
mean,
taste and what you
exactly.
like, and there is what
Exactly.
maybe suits you a bit better.
Definitely.
And
Because I mean, if you want to wear silver jewelry with this, it will look really nice. It's just that closer to your face.
I mean,
Just avoid something too cold. That's it.
that's why at first I was like, I don't really know what is better on me, silver or gold, because I tend to like silver jewelry a bit better than gold jewelry.
For aesthetic reasons.
For
because, yeah.
maybe for aesthetic reason. You're right. You're right.
But then you can mix.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have
I like mixed
silver
metal, yeah.
with a gold bangle, and I said the brass color could be really nice. Copper, all those metals would be amazing. Like copper metal on you would be really, really cool.
I need to try that.
And then you can just mix. And then if you have like a piece that you love, which isn't in your palette, you can buy a nice scarf that is in your palette to kind of break the fact that the color doesn't suit you, and have something really, really nice near your face. So you can have like this color scarf, or this color scarf, or
yeah.
this color scarf, and this will just highlight your features instantaneously.
And because those colors, hence the name, are very fall and autumnal
Yes.
colors, do you think they are always appropriate when we are in spring or summer, for example?
Definitely.
Okay.
It's more the type of clothes you're gonna, because you could have
Yeah.
a linen shirt
True.
in that color in the spring. So yeah, it's not true. You can still find really nice summer and spring pieces in your autumn palette.
In different materials.
Yes, but then
Okay,
it's true
yeah.
in the clothing industry. There's like in spring it's all pastels, but
Yeah, right.
pastels would look absolutely terrible on you. I'm sorry to say.
No, but I agree. I don't have anything pastel
No, but like
for good
pastel
reason.
blue, pastel yellow,
No,
pastel
we don't want that
pink.
near that.
No.
No.
You need richness, deepness, and warmth.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, when I
So-
see that, that's the colors I want
Exactly.
to wear, right?
Because
So-
light blue shirt, no
yeah,
way.
no.
I'm sorry.
No. Mais non, don't I will never
It's
buy
just,
that anyway.
it won't be the.
Yeah.
It would just completely wash you out.
Yeah.
And so the industry is so like. That's why I love color analysis so much, and we're quite lucky being autumns because I'm autumn too.
Yeah, I was about to.
It's quite in fashion at the moment, so you have a lot of options, at least in Europe and in France, in this palette for our season, which is cool. But yeah, there's this thing of it's Easter time, it's springtime, there's like pastels everywhere, and then it's fall, and then you have all of those coming out. So yeah, you can do your shopping in fall. You'll have a lot of options, and you
More
try and
options
buy
than the rest.
lighter fabric pieces in autumn that you could reuse in summer and spring anyways.
Are you?
Your staples and stuff anyway that you can wear out throughout the year. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So, are you a deep fall as well?
No, I'm a warm to soft fall.
Okay.
So I have a lot of warmth in my features, and it depends on the contrast. When I do my eyebrows, like I've done here, I can go in the warm palette easier. But when I don't have my contrast is much lighter, and my features are softer, so I can go into the soft autumn a bit more. So I can navigate
Gotcha.
a bit more.
Okay.
And you can navigate between your deep autumn and the deep winter. I can navigate between warm autumn and soft autumn.
Okay. Okay.
And deep autumn, as a matter of fact. I can also, because I suit this very well. This
Yeah, I
aubergine
can
colour as
totally
well.
see you with
and
this
this
type of.
one with
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Laura, you need to remind us your business name and your
Yes.
Instagram. That way I can put that
Yes,
right there.
definitely. So I'm based in Paris, but as you can see, I'm an English speaker, so I can definitely do your analysis in Paris if you come over. And my Instagram is studio.colorama.
And again, I will put that
Yeah.
right there.
Colorama, and so happy to show you more of my adventures on my Instagram, and I would love to meet you face to face for an experience in Paris around colors.
And if they are not in Paris, can they do like a online consult? I know it's hard, not having.
It's not my favorite online, but we can definitely do online as well to have a first kind of direction. For some people, it's kind of obvious. Like for you, online would have been easier. Yeah. Because I mean, it's so obvious that you've warm undertone or that you have deep features. I knew kind of quite easily. Even though you need to always confront yourself to the actual, you can have surprises, to the actual coupon, fabric coupons to really know. But some are much more subtle. Yeah. So in real. It's definitely and it's the whole sensorial experience as well, and I like being close to my customers. But online, to have a first conversation, definitely that's possible.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. That was
welcome,
super
Nicolas.
Fun.
So
I'm so glad to have added some colors to my palette, because I will definitely focus on those right now. So merci beaucoup.
You have inspiration for more shopping.
Yes. Do we need that? Do we need more inspiration for shopping?
Well, at least it's colors that work for you, and they won't be sitting in your closet without being worn. So
and they will go with each other too. Exactly. So multiple options there.
Yeah. Price per wear will be definitely
key. Lovely.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
De rien.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well. It is now Tuesday, and I'm about to leave for my second day of my fragrance training. Yesterday was super interesting already. The full idea of this fragrance and perfumery training is to, at the end of the week, being able to identify around, I believe, 60 molecules that are being used, 60 raw materials that are being used to compose and to make fragrance. It's definitely harder than what it sounds like, because some of the molecules are pretty similar, so you really have to train your brain and all of your senses to be able to, I guess, discern which molecule it is and from which family it does belong, and to also, I guess, acquire new vocabulary to be able to describe each molecule. So, and at the end of the training, we are going to be tested on our knowledges that we have acquired during this week. So I believe we are being asked to identify a certain number of molecules, and in order to pass the test to validate their training, we will have to be successful at it. So it's a little bit of pressure, because I feel like it's a short time to be able to remember all of this, but I'm trying to do my best, and honestly I'm having so much fun in the process, and I feel like I'm learning new things, so that's the most important. The journey is actually very enjoyable, and I'm very happy I did that so far. I'm going to show you what they gave us. So it's like that, and you can see that I have a couple of samples of different raw materials. I can show you a couple. For example, this one, it's called Limonene D, and it's basically smelling orange and vitamin C and zesty, and it's very juicy. And so it's being used obviously as a top note to bring a lot of like mandarin, orangey, citrusy notes. So that's just one example. I have another one which is pretty strong, pretty well known. It's called vanillin, which is basically used for all of the vanilla notes. And also I wanted to show you what I bought yesterday. You probably have seen this green bag behind me. After my training, I really wanted to stop by a Bottega Veneta store to discover their new fragrances line. It's called Alta, so it's under Louis Trotter, and I had a feeling I would have liked this line a bit better than the first line that was launched under Mathieu Blasi. I really wanted to liked one of his fragrance, but honestly I was not able to pick one that was like wow to me. So I was really hopeful that one of those new one was working for me, and let me tell you that I did find a couple actually. So let me show you what I got, and the one that I picked is Always Now. Let me open it for you. So the packaging is like that, pretty simple but efficient. I picked up the 50 millimeters. It also comes in the 100, but honestly I felt like the 50 was probably enough to start with. I smelled all of them, but definitely the Always Now one was the one that's speaking to me the most. It's very basil forward, so that's the first note that you're gonna smell. And then you have some bergamot essence, lemon, green mandarin, sweet orange, fresh ginger, clementine essence, so very citrusy and fresh forward, which I love. On the heart notes you have petit grain, spearmint and neroli, and on the base note you have vetiver, cedarwood, musk, and that's about it. So for me it's a very fresh and summery fragrance, and I'm so happy that I finally found a Bottega Veneta one to add to my little fragrance collection. That's actually the fragrance I'm gonna use today. It smells so good. I really enjoyed this one. And I didn't stop there because, as you may know, and I mentioned that on my wish list a couple of times, I really wanted to buy the travel spray from Bottega Veneta, and so I got this one. Was waiting to be in France to buy it because for pricing reason, but it's such a stunning little accessory that you can bring along with you. And for this one I bought another one because I could not decide really in between the Always Now and the Montebello. On the Montebello you do have on top notes lemon, bergamot, grapefruit and blood orange, so still very citrusy forwards, I have to say. On the heart note you have neroli and orange, and on the base note you have musk and ambrox super. So that's basically what I got at Bottega Veneta yesterday. I love seeing my knowledges and my interest of the fragrance industry and of perfumes in general growing. I'm so excited to see my small collection growing as well. I will encourage you to go try them in store and see which one you like the most. They are also a bit more affordable compared to the first line they have launched under Mathieu Blasi. That's basically what I got yesterday. I hope you are doing well. I need to start going right now, and I will catch up with you a bit later. I have a fun dinner tonight with some of my girlfriends tonight, so that's gonna be fun. Okay, talk to you soon.
Et surtout chanter un peu de musique française. Attends, t'es fan de variété française? Ça c'est peut-être moi, c'est la fondation du nom, il y a Kader. Apparemment il y a Dan Gourdel aussi, photographe au Grand Palais.
Bravo! Ah bah trop tard, hein. C'est quoi ça?
Tandem, Serge Gainsbourg.
Oui!
Je t'aime, trop belle. Et jamais un seul peine. Dans un monde toujours.
On va enchaîner avec plusieurs musiques.
C'est parfait!
Oui! Je vous laisse, moi.
it is now Friday and I'm actually waiting for my Uber to go to Charles de Gaulle because, as I mentioned at a point in this video, I'm going to spend the weekend in Portugal, in Lisboa, to see my friends, and then I'm going to be back in France to spend a week with my company for like another training, actually, a training, some meetings and a seminar. But it was such a great week in Paris. I hope you enjoyed following some of my adventures. I was not able to bring my camera everywhere, but I hope you had a great time and it was entertaining for you and you got some new great addresses and some good time watching my content. Most of my week was actually in classes during my fragrances training, what I was smelling new molecules and learning more about the fragrance training. And obviously this part I wasn't really able to, I guess, show that to you, but it was such a lovely experience and I feel like I learned quite a bit about the fragrance industry and the raw materials that are being used to make perfume. So I'm about to go now. Thank you very much for watching my content once again. Let me know in the comment section down below what you have thought of this video and I hope to see you in my next one. Thank you very much guys and see you next time. Bye bye.